So, it's Sunday afternoon, Porky. What have we just been doing?
Well, we've just been doing the mid-afternoon show, I suppose you call it.
It's called the warm-up.
It's called the warm-up, that's right.
It's not called the mid-afternoon show.
No,
it started at 11 o'clock.
It started at 11, but it went into sort of early afternoon.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah, early afternoon.
It's 3 hours long.
But it is the warm-up.
They gave us an extra hour.
Yeah, and we warmed up.
Because you didn't shut up.
No, well, there's a lot to say, on a Sunday, because it is a religious day, and I do like to get my points of view over. Anyway, we're going to put it into a podcast, aren't we?
This is the podcast. People are already listening to it.
Right, okay,
that's
great.
why we're doing this, because when they hear our voices now, next it's going to be the warm-up show from today.
Oh, that's great. So it's the two mics on the warm-up in a podcast, in addition to all the other podcasts we do?
Exactly.
What, an extra podcast?
An extra podcast.
Those lucky people.
It's amazing. 5 for the price of 4.
Absolutely.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two mics. We're doing the warm-up for the next 4 weeks, and I'm delighted to say on a very sunny Sunday morning, a very good morning to Mr. Mike Porky Parry.
Well, a very good morning to you, Mike, and I am delighted to have...
How pleasant to see your visage on a Sunday morning.
Is it? Well, that's very kind of you to say so.
I'm feeling ridiculously pleased about it.
Sorry?
I'm feeling ridiculously pleased about it.
Okay. I
don't know what's going wrong, Normally I'm sick to death of the sight of you, but actually this morning I'm quite pleased to see you.
Where is this sunshine, by the way?
It was all sunny when I was driving all the way up from Sussex.
It's not now, is it? No, it's rather overcast.
Well, it's very bright in the studio. It's normally dark when we're here.
Bit of a misleading statement.
It seems sunny to me.
No, but listen, sunny disposition certainly in this studio, which is very good indeed.
Absolutely.
I am delighted to have the opportunity to broadcast on a Sunday because
You're delighted to have the opportunity to broadcast any time.
No. I do feel that I have a mission in life, and that is to protect the special character and quality of Sundays that I remember as a kid.
Yeah, because you don't believe in people working on Sundays, do you?
I don't want shops open.
But you're working on Sunday.
Yes, but I'm spreading a message, if you see what I mean. I'm not indulging in sort of commercialised behaviour that other people are. Sorry?
Are you not getting paid?
Well, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's a balance. It's a balance. We're
not getting paid.
What I want to say is this. That shops are open long enough on a Sunday already from 10 till 4. I hate this campaign to let them open all day.
No, I don't agree with that.
Because Sundays have got to be a different day.
No. Well, actually, you're wrong about that, right?
No, Sundays have got to be a different day.
I had to leave Sussex this morning at about 8, right? Shop's not open.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back there around about 4.
Yeah.
Shop's not open.
Good.
So that's no good to me, because if I want to make dinner, I want to have the opportunity to go in and buy some stuff.
Well, do a bit of forward planning like I do and go out and get all the ingredients for your Sunday lunch on a Saturday, like most other normal people do.
You can do that,
okay?
but if you're working, that's not always easy.
Yeah, but look, when I was a little kid, when nowhere was open on a Sunday,
really,
we used to have to walk a mile.
Well, that was about 1943, wasn't it?
We used to have to walk a mile and a half to a little sort of corner shop.
But we were happy.
Yeah, that's right. On the other side of Chester.
We were poor but happy.
In our shoes with holes in them and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
And, no, I'm only joking. And
you had to go all that way and then steal everything because you didn't have enough money to buy anything. Is that right?
No, hang on. Before you start on this, can I just remind the audience, you are a self-confessed thief. I am not.
Not true. Incorrect.
Excuse me, on which programme last week did you admit that you regularly pilfered
I did not. No,
Mars bars and things from shops because you were a shoplifter?
When I was a schoolboy, I said that there were occasional missions to the
newsagents. A dirty thief?
No, not true. Everybody does that.
Thieving scumbag. I
have no criminal record. I think you're fine.
I have. You mean you got away with it?
I have no criminal record.
I've never stolen anything in my life. Anyway, look, move on
steal
from
people's ideas every 5 minutes.
Move on from that. I want people to have the freedom to go.
The cricket's on, by the way.
Yeah, I know the cricket's on. I want people to have the freedom to go and worship wherever they want to worship on a Sunday.
Worship what?
Worship the faith that they follow. Yeah. Worship within their faith.
There's a lot of worshipping going to be going on at Wembley later on.
Well, there will be.
Millwall against Barnsley.
And if I wasn't here today, I'd probably be in my local church in Ulverstoke, which is down in Hampshire. And I tell you what I really like.
Why would you be there?
Well, I'd probably be on the coast today, you see, if I wasn't here. Well, I'll be on the coast later, actually, because I am here today with you. Instead of being at my family, what should I say? The family HQ.
Family seat.
Yeah, down in Bournemouth, where there is a landmark birthday celebration for one of my sisters.
I bet they must be really missing you. I'm sure they're delighted you're not
there.
They
are missing me. I've just heard from them.
No, they could have a good time before you get there. Don't forget, when I visited the family seat and asked your sister, who I believe is his birthday today, so I wish her a very happy birthday.
Yes.
When I said to her, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your life? She said, having Mike as a brother. That's what she said.
Well, she likes a joke every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's not the real story. So, look, during the course of the show today, I want to emphasise to people the special quality of Sunday. I mean, don't you think Sunday should be for a bit of a rest and relaxation?
No.
The phone shouldn't be ringing.
No.
We shouldn't indulge in business.
We live
should
in
just
a
be able to
7-day-a-week, 24/7, global economy.
Well, I don't like it. And I tell you what I do particularly like. I like bank holiday weekends because I like the bank holiday. I like it for the fact that...
Why?
Look...
You can take your bucket and spade down to Bournemouth Beach tomorrow.
No, because most Monday mornings...
You can jump off the pier. Oh, no, you couldn't because you didn't do do that, did you?
Well, I wasn't allowed to by the local authority.
Really?
Most Monday mornings, I wake up and I have to start
Trying to
into...
remember what happened at the weekend.
No, that's your speciality. Your speciality. How did the bladderation session go last night?
Last night, not bad.
White, red, rosé, whiskey.
No. I stuck to rosé. I did not veer from the rosé branch.
You didn't have any white?
Grape. I didn't have any white. No.
You didn't have any white at all?
Didn't have any white, and I tend not to drink red wine when it's quite warm. It's quite warm yesterday. So
I'm not sure if I believe all that.
Red wine's a bit of a winter.
You seemed to be very active on Twitter last night. There was a bit
of troll slaying going on, as it's become known.
You sort them out?
I did have to. Well, occasionally, I mean, most of the time you ignore these idiots, right? But once in a while you just go, you know what? I'm just going to give you some back.
Sure. Now then, Champions League final.
Yes.
I got it absolutely right, my prediction.
You did correctly predict Real Madrid would win.
Yes, and I did predict that Gareth Bale would be man of the match.
That's
and he
true.
was.
That's true.
Thank you.
Ronaldo, of course, who was certainly anything but the man of the match, had a fantastic sort of fairy tale ending.
Well, he scored the winning penalty.
As I was saying earlier to Georgie and Danny, he said he had a vision that was going to happen.
Yes.
So I was going to ask you if you had any visions over the weekend, or perhaps double vision.
Well, no, I don't have any double vision. I tell you what I've received a lot of praise for. My expression that Ronaldo regards Gareth Bale as his personal ball butler.
Indeed.
I.e.,
which is a great phrase.
Put the ball on my feet, put the ball on my head, put the ball into my path.
But every time Ronaldo got the ball last night, he actually miscontrolled it in a way that actually reminded me of, I don't know if you remember this, but last Sunday when you were in doing Clash of the Titans, the guys from the warm-up had you, I think it was Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guys from the warm-up had you do a keepy-uppy. I've never seen anything so horrendous in my life.
Well, I'm not good at keepy-uppy.
You managed to kick the ball 3 times in the air and then shoot it violently across the other side of the room.
Well, it hit it hit one of these, what do you call them things, in the roof?
A light?
No, a panel.
I thought you were the former midfield dynamo of England grammar schools.
I was, but I was never all that good at keepy-uppy, which regards, which...
What a surprise.
No. A lot of people who can do keepy-uppy because they have a sort of centrifugal balancing sort of body, you know what I mean? Which I don't.
That's what you mean?
Which I don't.
Yeah,
I
don't think that's what you mean.
And I don't actually possess that. Now, listen, I'll tell you what I'm looking at here. An old colleague of mine, Andy Dunn, is pointing out the fact that...
Have you spoken to him recently?
Andy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even recognise the last time I saw him because he'd taken his glasses off and put contact lenses in. I walked straight past him.
He looked completely different.
He looked completely different. But anyway, he's pointing out this morning that despite the fact that we are now looking forward to probably the greatest ever Premier League season, bearing in mind we've got 5 or 6...
But we say that every year, and every year it's correct.
Well, absolutely. But what I'm saying is we've got 5 or 6 of the greatest football coaches in the world now working in the Premier League.
Isn't it interesting how none of them are English?
Well, absolutely right, good point. We've got more money than any other league in the world, and probably as much money as 2 or 3 leagues in Europe.
And yet, as Chambo, our producer, pointed out before the show started, the Spanish have won the last 3 Europa Leagues and the last 3 Champions Leagues.
Well, I was just about to point out what Andy Dunn has said, so he doesn't think I'm nicking his stuff. Reigning in Spain since 2006. Spain, Champions Leagues 6, Europa Leagues 7.
Yeah.
England, Champions Leagues 2, Europa League 1.
This is how long back?
To 2006.
Oh, okay.
10 years. Last 10 years.
All right.
So in 10 years, Spain have won 6 Champions Leagues, which is phenomenal. That's over 50% of them. And they've won 7.
It's roughly 60%, isn't it?
It is roughly
6 out of 10.
yeah. And 70% of the Europa League, 7 out of 10.
Right.
Whereas we've won 2 Champions Leagues. Who was that? That would be Chelsea and Manchester United.
Yeah.
But
wouldn't you say, though...
And 1 Europa League.
But wouldn't you also say...
That was Chelsea as well, wasn't it?
Wouldn't you also say that the last 3 years is actually a more important statistic because basically it's all Spanish. It's 100% win record.
Yeah, it has been, yeah.
Barcelona last year in the Champions League.
Indeed.
Real Madrid the year before. Real Madrid this year. 11. By the way, did you remember you once said what the 11th would be in Spanish because they had the El Decima, didn't they, for the 10th?
Yes.
What's the 11th one? I remember you said this a few weeks ago.
I did.
But it's gone from your head, hasn't it?
Well, we've probably got a recording of it somewhere so we can find it.
You think?
Good
luck with that.
5 seconds, yeah.
Good luck with that. We will be also doing later on a little sort of winners and losers type competition, but it's going to be heroes and villains.
Heroes and villains.
Right, because obviously winners and losers Monday night.
Yes.
We'll also be doing a bit of listography. Our homage to the a new day.
That is a favourite feature on this show.
World's worst newspaper that only lasted 9 weeks.
And also, did you notice, or is it just my imagination, that as the playoff final was played yesterday, Saturday, and I only ever
we haven't
remember...
even mentioned Hull coming up to the Premier League.
Well, I was about to say this. I only ever remember the playoff final being on the bank holiday Monday.
Oh, dear.
Spectacularly
Well, there will be one on Monday, won't there?
Yeah, but it won't be the big one that gets you into the Premier League.
If you're a Wimbledon fan, it's a big one.
Well, it's not as big as the 167 million one, is it?
No.
But I felt it lacked a little bit of the old Stardust because
the whole City
why.
end was a bit remarkably empty,
wasn't it? And
we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, and it's a pity both teams couldn't have come up because I do like Sheffield Wednesday's history and heritage.
Yeah, well,
a great club, the Owls, and all that kind of stuff.
That's a shame that both Madrid clubs couldn't have won the Champions League. What sort of rubbish are you talking?
No. You don't understand. What I'm saying is, maybe
the time, by the way.
Hull had actually. If Hull had got automatic promotion and Sheffield Wednesday had come up with them, nobody would have been upset. Well, except for the team that wouldn't have got there.
Apart from the team that hadn't got
exactly,
up.
Yeah, that's right.
What a load of rubbish.
That was
talk sport.
Burnley and Middlesbrough, yeah.
It's blood.
John, thanks very much indeed. We'll be hearing more from John Norman throughout the show, of course, at the Investec Test series. Now, Mr. Parry, one of the things that we need to do, I think, because it is Sunday and people are having a sort of allegedly warm morning, possibly haven't yet got out and got the papers. So I think what we should do is discuss a couple of matters arising from the back pages this morning.
Yeah.
My favourite story is all about Ryan Giggs, frankly, because there's several different versions, isn't there?
Totally agree. I mean, Ryan Giggs is in a very difficult position now, and he's got to decide whether he's going to become Mr. Manchester United forever and then cling on in the hope that he'll get the job after Jose's 3-year contract.
Yeah, or hope maybe that Jose self-destructs before the 3 years is up.
I'm about to say, we don't know just how long Jose's going to be the manager of Manchester United. You know, things could blow up a lot sooner than 3 years, or Jose could get an extension to 6 years at the end of it if he's won the Champions League or something like that. So that's really taking a huge gamble.
He's so worried about it, he's gone on holiday to Dubai.
He's in Dubai, but he's coming back, I think, for sort of for top-level meetings and talks.
With Ed Woodward.
Ed Woodward, and perhaps even his new boss, Jose Mourinho.
Ed Woodward.
Woodward, that's it. But the issue is, as I pointed out the other night, to many people's astonishment, Ryan Giggs is 42.
Yes.
And by the age of 42, Howard Kendall had won 2 top league titles. Kenny Dalglish had won the double.
Yes.
And other managers...
He played football a lot later than those guys.
Jose Mourinho had won a Champions League. I mean, this is how far behind the eight ball that he is.
Guys that went into management much younger than he did.
Well, no, they didn't, because he went into management the minute his playing career finished. It just so happens that his playing career
until he was 40.
Was one of the most successful ever. Yes,
exactly.
That's right, yeah.
In fact, if I had been Louis van Gaal, he would have been more use on the pitch than he actually was in the dugout.
He may have been. Did you know that Jose Mourinho's playing career existed of 72 games in the Portuguese second division?
Yeah, well.
So,
you don't always have to be a great player to be a good manager.
Swings and roundabouts.
But you see, the two different versions of the headlines that I've seen. One says, Giggs, give me a real job or I'm quitting.
Yes.
Now, I don't know what the real job is that he wants, because he can't be the assistant to Mourinho, because Mourinho's bringing his own guy in.
He's been his second and third in.
Since Porto, right?
It's 2 and 3, yeah.
So the highest job that he's going to be able to have
is 4.
Is number 4.
Yes, that's right.
It's not a real job at all, is it?
No, it's no job at all.
It's like when you were at the Daily Express. You were so far down the pecking order that nobody really knew exactly what your responsibilities were.
No.
There were about 6 people ahead of you. And anything below... Now, I've got a couple of tweets. What are you waving at me?
No,
I've got a couple of tweets and texts to read out to you.
Go on,
on the subject of your impersonation of Steve Bruce.
Oh, yes.
A couple of people said, Darren says, is that Steve Bruce or Vera, Porky? And Adam has said the same thing. It just sounds very, very like them. On the subject of Ryan Giggs, a couple of people are saying, they would love to have him at their club, including somebody who doesn't give a name. We'd love Giggs at Bury FC.
Yeah, Bury.
Forget Rochdale.
Well, Bury FC was supported for many, many years, of course, by the whole of the Neville family.
Yes.
Because their dad was the chief executive, the late dad, I'm sorry.
Neville,
that's right, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And his mum worked there, and the two boys were constant visitors,
And Veto in Nott says, I'd have Giggs at Forest all day long.
Well, that's right.
But, I'm not sure he's going to do that. And here's one from Derek in Pencoed, who's been in touch.
Yeah.
He says, hi, Mike, if Porky is the Christian he claims to be, he would love all of God's creatures, but he has said he hates cats and bats. And as for working Sundays, I work Sundays. Yeah. I started work at 5 a.m. and I just finished.
I didn't know that the bogs needed cleaning on a Sundays. Sorry about that, Derek, but I'm sure you're doing a brilliant job.
He does say what is that? What are you waving at me? What is it? Player receipt. Congratulations. Your lotto ticket is a winner. You've won £99. Look how happy you are. It's pathetic.
No, it's not.
You don't need another £99.
I got £99 that you haven't got.
It's pathetic.
Is that brilliant?
What are you, 10?
Is that brilliant?
This is Talk Sport. Decided to do is read you a passage from the Bible.
Okay.
Which you'll probably recognise, being as you're such a big fan of the Bible.
Yes.
And we want you to interpret it into modern day kind of
I'm very, very happy to do that. That is something that I enjoy doing, interpreting the ancient scripts, the ancient religious scripts, and telling you what what the relevance is to today's world.
Well, this is from Corinthians.
It's Corinthians what? Corinthians 1, okay.
Verse 13.
Okay, yes, okay. I'm familiar with that.
So, if you don't mind, I'm going to recite it to you.
Sure.
And I want your reaction, and I want your sort of explanation as to what it all means.
Okay, I'll listen intently so I can, yeah, go on.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Actually, that took me back to my days as an altar boy.
Really?
I used to do readings from the...
Did you?
From the lectern, yeah.
From the lectern? Why? Yeah. Why you?
Well, because as an altar boy, you would always read the epistle.
Oh, I didn't realise that. What was the epistle then?
The epistle was like the New Testament.
You sort of, as you grew up, the epiphany came to mean something else, really.
It was the epiphany, yes. Thank you very much indeed for making cheap jokes.
Now, this was... I'm going to read the epiphany after I've been on the epiphany. Sorry?
The altar woman.
Right, now...
well, funnily enough, it's very sort of appropriate for you, this, isn't it?
Well, no, it's...
Because you do not have love.
Oh, no, you don't understand. What this means is, I speak in the tongues of men or of angels. I know that line very, very well indeed, but do not have love. I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal.
I'd say that's about right.
Now, this is about empty vessels.
Yes.
The modern-day expression is empty vessels make the most noise,
that's
right?
True.
That's exactly what it means.
And that's exactly what you are.
Now, what it means is, and you see a lot of this in business, don't you? People say things, but they don't actually mean what they're saying. And the love is not necessarily bodily love. It's not necessarily physical or spiritual love. It is truth. And truth is love.
You have a very loose relationship with the truth.
Truth is love in religious terms because it means that you're being truthful to yourself, truthful to your soul, truthful to your creator. The creator, in my case, is God.
Is he?
And so I'm very truthful to him,
Well, you're one
right?
of the prototypes, then. You got it right after you were created.
If you want me to do this seriously, can you halt the silly and rather unnecessary little comments, okay?
Well, I'll try my best.
There are millions of people out there who are enjoying my interpretation of this. The next line, which I know well, if I have the gift of...
we haven't got all day for this.
Hang on. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge...
And you did predict Gareth Bale would be man of the match.
I did, actually, yeah, and that Real Madrid would win. And if I have a faith that can move mountains... but do not have love, I'm nothing. Now, what that means is self-belief. Yeah. Self-belief is okay. But self-belief is nothing unless you have the belief that you are being aided by a much, much higher plane, okay?
Right.
That self-belief on its own can get you a lot of places in this life. Look where it's got me in my life, okay?
Yeah, I know. It's against all the odds.
Against all the odds, there are winners and losers in life. I come in the first category.
Yeah.
But the point is, I do believe there has been a greater force there assisting me all my way through my life, and as long as you have that belief, you are going to be okay, okay? And the third and last line in this, what
about all your possessions to the poor? Because you're always giving money away, aren't you?
Hang on.
You've just won 99 quid in the lottery.
I have, yeah.
Why don't you give it away?
I might do. I haven't decided yet. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to the hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Now, this could be written for me. How many times have I told you I give food to the poor? I give drink to the poor,
No, you give out-of-date lager to the down-and-outs in Gosport.
Well, that's drink.
Yeah, but they don't want out-of-date lager.
Well, they'd rather have out-of-date lager than no lager.
I don't think it's responsible to give them any kind of alcohol.
Well, don't be ridiculous. The date on it is just a date. It doesn't mean anything. The beer inside is equally as good, and I could have drunk it myself, and I didn't. I chose to give it to them, okay? I give them the uneaten bits of my pizza when I've had a pizza delivered from Domino's or something like that. Yeah. That's not a problem at all.
What sort of pizza do you like?
I like ham and mushroom and pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I love it, yeah.
You've got the diet of a 15-year-old, haven't you?
Well, you keep saying that, but I don't know what you mean by that, you see.
Well, you just eat a lot of rubbish.
No. Now, give over my body to hardship that I may boast. Yeah. Now, you know what that's about.
You do a lot of boasting, don't you?
No, I don't do boasting at all.
You were boasting on Twitter earlier on today.
About what?
About a whole bunch of stuff.
What, like?
Well, I don't want to get into it now.
Well, you mean about me predicting the outcome of the Champions League
final? You were
final?
boasting about that. You were boasting about some stuff to do with the podcast. I don't want to get into it. But, you were claiming things that hadn't been anything to do with you.
Well,
you've already claimed that Jose Mourinho went to Manchester United because of your campaign.
Well, I said I was part of the campaign which knew he would go. That was sort of self-knowledge. But listen, what I'm saying is here, I give over my body to hardship. You know what that is, don't you?
What is it?
I plough the fields and skirt.
We haven't finished the first hour yet. You've already sung like 4 times.
Ground.
I don't want you to sing anymore.
That's because part of the dialogue which I'm giving you. So I may boast my body to hardship, but do not have love, I gain nothing. And again...
So what you're saying, basically, is that if you substitute the word truth for love, that's what this all means.
Well, very much so.
Well, so you don't really have much of a truthful a scenario going on, do you?
I've never done anything untruthful knowingly in my life. No.
Really?
No, never.
You never told a lie?
Well, I can't say that. Who said that? George Washington, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't George Washington say never told a lie?
Yes. He had wooden teeth, though, didn't he?
He had wooden teeth, which he got from the battlefields of Europe, actually. They went around and...
No, they had teeth from the battlefields of Europe, not actually wooden teeth.
Oh, that's right, yeah, he had wooden teeth, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Why would you go all the way to a battlefield to get a set of wooden teeth?
I know, you're absolutely right, you're absolutely right. It was later on, a couple of centuries later, when people started going around nicking the teeth of the dead on battlefields in Europe and exporting them to China.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
But anyway, there you go.
Oh, anyway, that's enough interpretation, I think.
Yes, OK, but as long as you understand all that, you know, it is about truthfulness. It's about believing in yourself, believing in the higher plane that's helped you, and being true to yourself and to that higher plane.
OK.
That's what it's all about, OK?
Well, that's very nice.
Now, why do you want to keep going on about my my winning lottery money?
Well, because I'm just looking at it. I can't believe that you continually do the lottery.
Why?
Is this from Wednesday?
That's from last Wednesday.
Oh, right. So how many numbers do you get for that?
I got 4 out of 6.
4 numbers for £100. And
£99, yeah.
OK. And how much do you put on? You buy like 10 tickets then?
No, on that particular day, last Wednesday, I bought 3 tickets at £2. That's £6.
Oh, OK.
And my return of £99 means I made a profit of £93.
Well, you could look at it that way, or you could say if you're going to spend £6 a week.
Yes.
I mean, how much roughly do you spend a week?
About £20 a week.
So £20 a week?
Yes.
Well, so that would keep you going for 2.5 weeks.
I'll keep it going for a month.
How?
Well, it's £99 and 4 times 20 is 80.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, keep you going for a month.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know why you did a lottery. I mean, you're expecting to get a massive windfall of millions of pounds.
I hope so, yes.
You're already wealthy. You've already got enough money.
No, you see, you keep putting this myth around. We all have to earn a living on a day-to-day basis. I would buy, actually, a motor cruiser if the £3 million lottery
you mean instead
jackpot.
of the old, what's it called, a rib that you've got up in Ipswich?
Rigid, inflatable boat.
The manky old boat. Has it been in the water yet, by the way?
Of course.
I was down by the sea.
Rigid, inflatable.
I was down by the sea yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
It was absolutely beautiful.
Right.
Absolutely beautiful. And I was sitting next to a guy in a cafe on the seafront, and he was talking about taking his boat out and getting caught in a force 9 gale.
My God.
And he barely survived
That would sink my boat, I'm afraid.
47 miles an hour. Was the wind, the gust of wind?
Blimey, I'd blow your boat over to France,
mate. He was lucky to have survived it. I don't think you'd be wise to go out on a boat.
Well, I wouldn't in those sort of conditions. Now, listen, as we're reviewing the papers, OK,
right.
I want to tell you this.
Go on. Well, you got to hurry up because we've got to stop in a minute.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, I might tell you this a bit later on.
Well, tell me in a minute then.
I'll tell you.
Hold on to it.
I'll tell you in a
minute. We'll come back to it. You want to give us a hint about what it is?
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Well,
it's very exciting.
Well, it's something very exciting. All right,
something to do with a mutual friend of ours whose initials are PM.
PM. OK, well, I'll think about that. Something very exciting coming next on TalkSport. This is TalkSport. We are the two mics. This is the warm-up. There will be a podcast coming out later on, and it will be out on the warm-up section of TalkSport rather than on the two mics. Now, what's this exciting thing you've got to tell me?
Well...
Or do you want to hold on to it?
I'm going to hold on to it.
Well, you're going to tease me all the way through the show.
No.
I know what's going to happen. It's going to be absolutely...
No, it's not. No, but it needs a little thought and application, that's all. I don't want to rush through
now,
things.
Now, you know how badly you did on the predictor this year?
Which predictor?
You came fourth from bottom, the Selco predictor.
Well, I wasn't in the relegation zone, was I?
You were just above it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you got to do.
Anyway,
got to keep your head above water.
There's a new one coming out. The Selco Predictor France edition is here.
Oh, brilliant. I love that.
You can win a host of fantastic matchday prizes up for grabs, an incredible European city break to be won. If you get your predictions in now for the summer's footballing action, some of that could be yours. Play the Selco Predictor France edition. Log in or sign up at talksport.com/predictor.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I imagine you won't be much better at that than you were in the Premier League one.
Oh, really? Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Don't need your fatuous comments.
One of the things we have to do is listography. Right?
That's right.
Our homage, for those people who don't listen to our show on a regular basis, we do a homage to a newspaper called The New Day, which lived for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
It was terrible. One of the worst papers ever produced.
It was the worst paper ever produced.
Trinity Mirror.
And it went out of business after just 9 weeks, but it had one redeemingly bad feature on the back.
Yes, it did. And it's called Listography, and it's 3 things, basically, that you would like to kind of, just talk about, right?
Every day.
So we're going to do this day, because you've just won the lottery.
Yes.
3 things you could do with 99 quid.
OK, that's fine.
And if you want to tweet in about it, you can tweet us at the two Mikes. You can tweet Mike Perry at Mike Perry 8. You can tweet me at IROMG. Or, of course, you can get in touch with TalkSport by text 81089. Or, indeed, you could send us an email to talksport.com. Sandbag has sent this in. He said, will the two Mikes be retranslating the Quran next?
No, I don't think so. I'm not a huge student.
That could be a bit
Quran.
dangerous. I don't think we should do that.
Exactly.
Anyway, we've got lots more coming up in the next hour, including talking to our good friend, Mr. Matt Holland, who might not remember that he was once horrified and terrified by Mike Perry singing at him at a TalkSport Christmas party.
I don't think so.
We'll be revealing all of that coming up very, very shortly. And, of course, we'll be looking ahead to the Monaco Grand Prix. We've got Andy Murray. We've got the playoff final as well. This is Talk Sport. We are the two Mikes on the warm-up. We're going to be here for the next 4 weeks, so you might want to get used to it, I'm afraid. We're going to do Heroes and Villains coming up in this hour, which is a little bit like Winners and Losers, except we're not going to have a public vote on it. We're going to have the deciding vote being cast by our producer, Chambo, who's going to tell me whether he likes my Heroes and Villains better than your Heroes and Villains, but we'll see. We've got Matt Holland coming up a little bit later on. We're going to do listography on three things you can do with 99 quid. So if you want to tweet us on that, please, at the two Mikes, at Mike Perry 8, or at IROMG. Of course, we'll be looking ahead to the Monaco Grand Prix coming up as well. But our next guest, Matt Holland, it's 16 years ago to the day that he took part in a playoff final that got Ipswich up into the Premier League all those years ago. But before we talk to him, we want to remind him, basically, about something that happened just over a year and a bit ago when you unfortunately went to a TalkSport Christmas party. You weren't working that night. And if you go on to Two Mikes TV on YouTube or you go check out the at the Two Mikes Twitter account, you'll see a video of Matt Holland's face while this happened to him. I think Matt Holland wished he'd never seen your face that night. The look on his face is of sheer horror and just fear.
I tell you what, that improved his social networking ability a million times.
All right, well, Matt's here now. Let's say very good morning. Matt, very good morning. Sorry to remind you of that, mate.
Hi, guys. How are we doing? Yeah, I know. Every time I hear that song, it brings back nightmares.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could see a look of absolute and utter fear on your face. And I think your wife was next to you, and she looked even more concerned.
Honestly, you've got warped memories, you lot. You one of these days, mate, you'll be able to point out to that and say, yes, I duetted with Porky Parry.
Yeah.
Believe me, you will.
Yeah,
yes, no, it was a good night. It was an experience anyway, let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's not been seen out on a TalkSport night ever since, I
I haven't, actually.
Yeah. Now, Matt, 16 years ago to the day, you were in a playoff final that brought Ipswich back up to the Premier League. There was that great game yesterday. Hull were really just too good for Sheffield Wednesday. Today it's Barnsley against Millwall. Tell us a bit about what it's like to play. It wasn't quite such a valuable game in your day, but a fantastic kind of day out, right?
I think it was about 60 million in our day that it was worth, and in 16 years it's gone up quite a bit, hasn't it? 170 million it was worth yesterday.
I know.
I think Hull were deserved winners. I was reminded about our day at Wembley today on Twitter. Lots of people sending messages about it, and it's a lot of pressure because everyone wants to test themselves at the highest level, wants to play in the Premier League. And that opportunity is a one-off game. It's a cup final to try and do that. And we were fortunate enough. That was the fourth time running we'd been in the playoffs. We'd missed out 3 times in the semi-final. That was the first time we'd actually got to a final. So there's a bit of pressure, I think, on the club going into that game. But Hull were the ones who dealt with that better, weren't they, yesterday against Sheffield Wednesday? I thought half an hour it was quite an even game, but after that they took charge of the game and they were deserved winners.
OK, Matt, is that game losing any of its appeal? Because, it has been labelled over the last decade as the most entertaining game of the season because so much is at stake and free football's being played at Wembley by clubs who don't usually get there. And yet yesterday, first of all, it was on a Saturday, and I always thought it was better on the bank holiday Monday because everybody looked for it, and there were big gaps on the terraces. The attendance crowd yesterday from two very big clubs, two big clubs, Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, from Yorkshire Derby, crowd of 70,000, 20,000 short of capacity.
Well, I think if Sheffield Wednesday were allowed a few more tickets, they would have taken a few more. That's for sure. I think they got a few more late on, but there wasn't a big uptake, was there, from Hull? Not as big as we perhaps would have expected. I don't think the game's losing its appeal, though. Someone was saying that Hull's rugby league teams were playing that day as well. I think there's lots of reasons why they didn't perhaps have the numbers in attendance yesterday, but I don't think it's losing its appeal at all. I still think it's such a huge game, such a huge draw.
But do you not think it should be the last one? Because it always was the last of the playoff finals. Now it's the first. You see what I mean? I just don't get that.
No, I must admit, we were Bank Holiday Monday, going back. I think the idea was to give the champ, because the pitch is played on 3 games in 3 days in a row. I think the idea was to give the championship the pitch when it was at its best, really. So on the Saturday, the championship gets the best pitch, and then by Monday, it was a bit of a mess. I think by Monday, so that was the reason why they did it, I suppose. But I think you're right. Bank Holiday Monday, it's a little bit more exciting, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. And the other thing is, Matt, Hull gone straight back up. Okay, they're not the first club to have done that. I think there's about half a dozen clubs now straight back up after coming down. I mean, that really is the definition of a yo-yo team. Is that a good thing?
I know what you're saying, and it is becoming a little bit like that, isn't it? You know, the teams that went down last year, so Burnley did it, didn't they? Went straight back up. QPR, struggled a little bit this season, but generally with the money that they've got, and if they've managed it well enough, then when they go down, they're still able to keep their best players, which hasn't always been the case, has it? I think when teams have gone down before, they've thought, it's a big drop in money, big drop in revenue, not the TV deals that are there. And they've got to sell players, but actually, in recent years, we've seen teams being able to hold on to their best players.
Yes,
and they are at the top of the league and fighting for promotion again. And look, a lot of those players played in the Premier League, didn't they, for Hull 2 years ago?
They did.
They're back up again.
They did.
Absolutely right. Now, I mean, obviously today, Barnsley-Millwall is a massive game. I drove in through sort of south-east London, a massive amount of Millwall flags for sale and all that kind of thing. One of the things that somebody was saying to me about Millwall is that, you know, they don't get many fans for their home games, but they take, 40,000 or something
to Wembley.
So Wembley, what are they all doing in the meantime?
Good question. I don't know what they're doing, but this is actually really, I think, a really interesting game, fascinating game today, because Barnsley, the second half of the season, what they've done is, amazing. Bottom of the league in December. Yeah. And the way they've flown up the table, that's what the playoffs do, though, isn't it? It gives a team a real opportunity, no matter what stage of the season, to still get a chance of promotion. We did it with Ipswich a number of times. I think we were third bottom at Christmas, and we got into the playoffs. Barnsley were bottom in December, and there they finished 6th in the league. 7 points behind Millwall. So I think it's a fascinating game. They're going through it in really good form, but so do Millwall as well, so it's a difficult one to call.
And what is the step up? You know, we know really what it's like to come up from the Championship to the Premier League. What's the step up into the Championship, which is a tough league now, isn't it, from League One?
Yeah, it is, although, again, in recent seasons, we've teams jump, haven't they, from League One all the way to the Premier League in consecutive seasons. I think Southampton did it, I think Norwich did it as well. So there's teams that have done it and not found that step up too bad. I know the MK Dons, I think, went down, didn't they, from the Championship this year after getting promoted. But I think teams are enjoying that jump from League One into the Championship and feel they've still got a chance of getting promoted.
Yeah, what do you think about the fifth league, Matt, while we're talking about leagues and all that? Because I think there's some clubs in this country are quite happy to be part-time, like my hometown Chester, and they get back into the league, the costs double, and I don't think it's a good idea at all.
Yeah, well, it's very difficult, isn't it, when you're at that level to try and get the revenues in and try and be full time, because it is not very easy. I know that my local non-league team, where my son plays at the under-18s,
right.
They're trying to fight for friendlies pre-season, and they're big money spinners for them. So they're trying to get games against Colchester, they're trying to get games against Ipswich in pre-season, because that makes them money that serves them well over the course of the rest of the season.
Exactly,
so it isn't easy at all to be a full-time club.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Chester, which is my hometown team, they're always trying to get that friendly, you're quite right, against like a second 11 Everton side or something like that.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Even, like the under-21s, it doesn't matter. As long as they can try and entice a club and get one or two of their stars down to the ground, it gives them, a much bigger crowd than they would get throughout the course of the rest of the season. It is a big money spinner for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. Now, the other big question that we're going to be asking over the next couple of days, Matt, is what does Roy Hodgson do? He's got until midnight Tuesday, I think, to drop 3 players. We haven't actually had a chance to discuss it yet. But, the big question is Sturridge. Is he going to be fit enough? Should he be risked? Should he be taken? Jack Wilshere, who really didn't have much of a game on Friday night, looked a bit sort of leggy and out of shape. What's your view on who should be dropped?
it is a difficult decision he's got to make. I think with Jack Wilshere, I agree with you. I think the games that he's played, he has looked a little bit leggy, and he's suffering the effects of being out for such a long time. But Roy Hodgson's seen him now. He's seen him playing matches. He's seen him getting minutes. Henderson the same. I think he'll go with both of those. Daniel Sturridge is the intriguing one. I think he is worried about his fitness. And of course, Marcus Rashford's piled on the pressure. Yeah. With his performance the other night and scoring on his debut and the meteoric rise that he's had. And we've seen in the past players that have got into the side at such a tender age and done well at tournaments. Rooney's done it, Owen's done it. So maybe he feels that Marcus Rashford can be his wild card. I think it's a really difficult decision he's got to make. I do fear for Daniel Sturridge because this fitness thing. I know he's planning on training the next few days, but I do fear as though he might be in a bit of trouble.
I think, Matt, the problem with taking a guy like Sturridge, apart from the individual and worrying about whether it puts pressure on the rest of the squad. Because if you're carrying a passenger, and we don't know if Sturridge is a passenger or not, then where's the complete and absolute unity of confidence in the whole squad? If one of them's looking over their shoulders at a teammate and thinking, I'm not sure he's going to see this game out, or in training, I'm not sure if he's going to break down, doesn't that bring an unnecessary pressure into the unity of the squad?
Well, not necessarily. I think it's a big enough squad anyway, isn't it, with 23 players, and you can sort of afford maybe to take that risk. I mean, going back to 2002 when we were in the World Cup, Roy Keane departed and we weren't able to call anybody else up, so we managed with 22 then as well. So yes. I think it's a big enough squad that you can cope with that. But Roy Hodgson said he wouldn't take anyone that perhaps wasn't fully fit, and so that's the dilemma he's got really. As I say, with Henderson and Wilshere, he feels as though he's seen enough of them now, and they're going to be fit. But Sturridge, he's turned up and he hasn't trained us yet, so that is a concern for him.
Yeah, it is very much so. Matt, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks,
Matt Holland there, who 16 years ago today took Ipswich up, not single-handedly, obviously, into the Premier League. But
he was a manager then.
George Burley, I think.
George Burley, that's right, yeah, of course.
Astonishing stuff. Now, I'm going to leave you with one thought, because coming up next, we're going to have a look at what's going on the front pages, right?
Okay.
How about this? It's a text that we've got in from Bill. Steve Bruce is off to manage Everton. Fact.
Who says that?
Just think about that. This is Talk Sport. Come Now, for those people who don't know what that is, that's a Beach Boys song called Heroes and Villains.
That's
because
right.
from this week and the next 4 weeks, we're going to be doing Heroes and Villains at this time, where we're going to talk about the sort of the real heroes and the real villains of the weekend. And unlike what we normally do on our show overnight, where we get the audience to judge who is best, and we have a voting process on Twitter, our esteemed producer Chambo is going to be have the casting vote.
Indeed.
So when we've finished, I want 3 heroes from you of the weekend and 3 villains.
I thought it was one each.
You want one?
I think it was one of each, wasn't
it?
It's
only one then, is
I think it was one of each. I think we didn't want to mirror too closely, did we? Winners and losers, which takes place tomorrow night on the 2 Mike
I've
show.
got 6 here.
You got 6?
Yeah.
Oh, so you want 3 each?
No, I don't. We don't have to do 3 each.
Yeah.
I think we should do 3 actually.
All right.
We'll do 2.
All right, 2.
Cut the difference.
2.
And we'll do 2.
2. Okay.
Have you got 2 you can give me?
Well, of course, yes.
What do you want to start with, villains or heroes?
I'll start with heroes.
All right, do your 2 heroes.
My 2 heroes, right? And their names begin with the same letter.
Really?
This is what I call alliteration.
Okay.
And it goes like this. Hang on, what was it? Yeah, it goes like this, right? Ronaldo and Rashford.
Yes.
How about that?
That's very good.
How about that?
That is
Ronaldo,
really good.
because he was the inspiration to Real Madrid. No, I don't care if it's obvious or not. Ronaldo, the inspiration for Real Madrid winning the Champions League again, second time in 3 years, and also scoring the vital and crucial penalty that gave them their victory. Yeah. And that is pressure personified.
It really is.
That is pressure personified with the world watching you.
You will not be surprised to know that I also had those 2 down as possible contenders.
Well, absolutely.
Because in the end, no matter how bad of a game Ronaldo had, the fact is he won it for him.
Of course he did.
And it was almost stage managed that way.
It was.
But do you remember the time when, I think it was either the Euros or the World Cup, I can't remember, but Portugal were in a very tense game, went to penalties, and Ronaldo didn't take a penalty.
I do remember
He basically
that,
opted out.
Yeah, I do remember that,
and they went out and they lost.
Did they lose that one?
Yeah, they did.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
And also, when he took his shirt off afterwards, the man's torso now, he's so ripped, it's unbelievable.
I know, staggering.
And all I'm saying is the reason I put him down as a hero is he has such self-belief, but he has such self-belief because he's able to deliver every time.
Yeah.
And that for me
is a true superstar.
He is a true superstar, an outstanding man. And as for young Rashford, well, I'm so thrilled for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is Wayne Rooney again, 16
well, surely
years
if
on.
there was any doubt about whether he should be taken, which there shouldn't have been, there can't be now.
Never any doubt for me. The minute he took that Manchester City player in the Manchester United, was it Dembele?
Yeah.
That he took. And it was
no, Dembele plays for Spurs.
I'm sorry, what was his name? What was the name of the Manchester City defender?
Are you thinking of, I don't know who you're thinking of. Zabaleta?
No, Zabaleta. Could have been Zabaleta. I don't know why I said Dembele, sorry.
I don't know either. Di Michaelis, maybe?
Di Michaelis, somebody like
that. The Argentinian guy?
Anyway.
Well, I mean, what have they got in common, apart from the fact that they all play football?
He's a 33-year-old.
And
Rashford just absolutely took him, okay?
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've said this boy's got to go to the Championships. Yeah. And, of course, the thing is, I don't think Roy Hodgson would have taken him if he hadn't scored that miraculous goal after 3 minutes.
He can't not take him
now. He can't not take him now. So he has sealed his place in footballing history as well. So for me, Ronaldo and Rashford, okay?
Well, I'm going to have to go with a couple of more unlikely heroes, I suppose you might say. My hero of the weekend, football-wise, I would have to say, certainly from the Champions League point of view, is Mark Clattenburg. Because Mark Clattenburg had a fantastic game. People were critical of the way he handled the FA Cup final.
Yes.
But I thought last night he was absolutely brilliant.
Right.
Because it was a very nasty game, as you'd expect. There was an awful lot going on. There was an awful lot of nasty play acting going on. People have talked about Pepe being the main villain, but I thought that would be too obvious, you see. I thought making Pepe the villain and you making Ronaldo the hero would be too obvious. So I'm going with Mark Clattenburg as my first hero because he's an English referee. And as I was hearing earlier on the Sports Breakfast, if England don't make the final of the Euros, Clattenburg is a shoo-in to referee the final of the Euros. And I think there's no better referee around at the moment.
Right, okay.
So I'm giving it to him. Okay. And my second hero is actually a corporation rather than an individual.
Right.
And I don't know if you mind whether I do that, but I'm going to make it YouTube because the difference now in the way that people watch football is very stark.
Yes.
We all know people who illegally download and stream games that they should probably be paying for.
Yes.
The idea that BT Sport, who put it on for free last night on Preview on their Showcase channel, so you didn't have to pay for it anyway, but put it also on YouTube, is an astonishing development, I think. So people can watch football by live streaming it wherever they are.
Yes.
I think that's going to be the way of the future. So it's fascinating stuff. So those are my two heroes.
Excellent.
Let's have your two villains.
No, you've got to first with the villains.
You want me to go first?
Well, I think it's only fair because I grabbed the two best winners. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with something which I think will upset some people.
Right.
I'm going to go with Hull City fans.
Right.
Because Hull City fans, who should have been in great numbers at Wembley to witness their team going back up into the Premier League, for some bizarre reason, didn't buy tickets to go.
Yes.
When we talk about Millwall taking 40,000 to Wembley today for their game against Barnsley, you think, well, why couldn't Hull do that?
Yeah.
And I know that it's a bit further away and it's a very expensive thing to do, but it's your team playing in the most expensive game in the world.
Indeed.
To go to the Premier League.
Indeed.
And then they won it and they weren't there.
Yeah.
My second villain is actually Roy Hodgson because I don't think Roy Hodgson, aside from the fact that Rashford took the initiative and scored that great goal, and aside from the fact that he put Wilshere on and then discovered that Wilshere couldn't really play anymore at this point in time, he didn't learn anything at all from that game, and I really don't understand what he was playing at.
Yeah.
He didn't really put anybody on that you would have thought was a surprise.
Yeah, okay.
He didn't select anyone that was incredible. And so, I mean, if he and particularly if he continually thinks he's going to take Jack Wilshere, he's a villain.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can't disagree with either of those. They're pretty good choices. Now, for my two losers, right? My first one,
they're villains, not losers.
Villains. I'm sorry, villains.
For
villains.
heaven's sake. Losers tomorrow.
Now, my first one, you won't be surprised to know, I'm going to nominate somebody with whom I've had an affinity all season because I pronounce his name like this, Louis van Gaal.
Oh, yes. You're making him a villain?
I'm making him a villain.
Poor old Louis van Gaal.
I'm making him a villain because, first of all, there apparently was an agreement that Louis van Gaal could get away to his Portuguese villa a good 3 or 4 hours before the announcement was made that Jose Mourinho was now the new Manchester United manager.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but that's running away. That's running scared. If that's
what about
correct,
this picture of him on the back pages this morning?
Hang on. Which one?
Well, the one that makes him look as if he's not very happy about something.
Well, I'm just about to develop my point.
Okay, we haven't got all day. The show's nearly over.
Then we Well, a lot of people wish it was over from the perspective of having to listen to you for so long on a Sunday lunchtime.
It isn't yet.
No, the report's now coming back that Louis van Gaal is extremely upset that he thinks he's been turned over by his former protégé.
Well, he's got £5 million.
Jose Mourinho.
Well,
he's got £4.6 million. He's now comfortably into retirement. He ended up his career with being given the opportunity to revive Manchester United, but didn't. Let's make that clear. And he's now got off in a strop saying that, Jose Mourinho's done me in. No, I'm not being hard on him. No. He should have gone with dignity. He should have said, look, I did my best. It's got a lot of problems. Jose's the man to sort all this out. Yeah. I know that because I was his teacher. That's what he should have done. That would have been a better way to do it.
It would have been.
And my second hero, and this is going to disappoint...
You're not finished yet.
My second villain, and this is going to disappoint a lot of people. It's going to disappoint myself. It is, I'm afraid... Lukaku.
Yes.
Lukaku.
Now he's going to go to Paris Saint-Germain, apparently.
Well, I mean, I don't know where he's going to go, but I just think his lack of gratitude to Everton for actually establishing him as a Premier League player. Remember, he could only get into Chelsea's reserves.
That's right.
Everton took him on loan and then took a chance and spent 28 million on him and made him a leading Premier League forward. He's now worth double what we paid for him.
Well, you'll make some money out of it.
Well, we'll make some money, but so will he. And I think he's been incredibly ungracious in not being very much more noble and honourable about, thank you very much, Everton, I'm off. Instead of going around saying, I want to play Champions League football. So I'm not staying here, am I?
Well, fortunately,
and his dad's saying the same thing.
Luckily, there's been a wicket in the cricket, so have to keep quiet for a moment. It's time. I know you don't like it.
I don't.
I know you don't like it, but because we've been doing Listography now for probably quite a few weeks, I'd have to say it's kind of now embedded in as the theme music for it.
That was John Lennon's least favourite Beatles song as well.
I think the alliteration is between the new day and yesterday.
Yes, I know, right. Well, that's fair enough. Look, it's a brilliant song. It's just not one I like. Paul McCartney wrote lots of brilliant records. I'm his biggest fan. Yeah, okay. No problem.
All right, now, the question that was put to us earlier was 3 things that you could do with 99 quid, because you have revealed that you won 99 quid in the lottery.
I have. I've put a picture out of it just to let everybody know that I don't speak with forked tongue. Yeah,
and quite a lot of people have said, actually, that it shows how greedy you are, because a man with money should have no business buying a lottery ticket, and certainly not winning.
Well, hang on.
Because you'll be, by the way, look at the rain in Monaco.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah. We've got a monitor here, and I tell you, the streets of Monaco...
safety cars out there.
They look like a swimming pool at the moment. Yeah. They really do.
Yeah, it's going to make for some very interesting
A lot of yellow
driving.
Flags, which means caution to the drivers, of course.
Does it?
It's the language of the Formula One.
Now, we've had a few...
Excuse me, have you considered that when I buy a lottery ticket, it's not just my self-improvement and aggrandisement... Yeah. A vast majority of the money I pay for a £2 lottery ticket goes to charity.
Yes.
So I'm contributing big money to charity.
Listen, I'm not the one saying you're greedy.
Right.
It's other people saying it. Now, I've had a very interesing suggestion here for things that you could do with 99 quid.
Go
on. Here's one that says you can exchange it for 24,238 Angolan kwanza and buy a village.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
Yeah, I've always wanted a village in Angola.
Yeah, well, you've got plenty of slum properties, haven't you? So why not sort of add to your portfolio?
I don't know why I let you get away with saying these things. One of these days, my lawyers will come calling, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know that,
don't you? Overworked your lawyers, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, so give us 3 things, or you can do one and I'll do one, and we go that way.
Yeah, we'll do one each, okay?
All right, well, give us your first thing to do with 99 quid.
I'll tell you what I am going to do with my 99 quid. Yeah. Never mind what I could do. I'm giving it to a charity called Main Chance.
Is that a local charity?
It's a local charity.
Is it? Where?
It's down in Guildford, and it is the horse sanctuary that I told you about.
All right. So you're going to give it all to them?
I'm going to give it all to them.
What will you get for your money? Free horse?
No. I'm not interested in getting anything back. You don't understand about giving to charity.
All right, well, let me explain.
You don't give to charity, do you?
No, I do actually.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. But
the only charity you
give
to is about drunks.
No, but I don't boast about it.
Yeah.
But tell us what I mean by what do you get for it. It's not personally what you get for it, but what will £99 buy a horse?
A few bales of hay.
How long for?
Well,
how much is a bale of hay?
I don't know, about £5, I think.
Don't know.
I think it's about £5.
This was your speciality
No,
charity.
I think it's about £5 a bale of hay.
Right.
So
how about a blanket, maybe? For a horse?
Blanket. A saddle? No, they don't need a saddle, actually, because nobody rides them. They're knackered old horses.
They're knackered old horses.
They are, yeah. So it won't be a saddle.
No.
But it would be a blanket, a bale of hay, a feed bag, new feed bag, a bridle,
very nice.
To lead it round the old...
Well, as long as it's not going to be wasted by the people that administrate the charity.
No, there's only 2 people run it.
It's not paying a phone bill.
And one of them is my very dear friend, Jenny Seagrove, who is
your
actress.
thespian mates.
My thespian mates, that's
very
right.
Nice. Okay, well, my first one would be to go for a light lunch at the Oxo Tower. It would have to be a light lunch because you don't get much for 99 quid in the Oxford South.
Right, yeah.
I went there years ago.
Yes.
And used to be able to have dinner for 99 quid. But I took my daughter there a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And if you have more than one bottle of wine, you're talking about 200 and odd quid.
Okay, yeah.
So it would have to be one course, I think, and maybe a glass of wine.
Excellent.
For two people.
Excellent.
That's what I would do with 99
That's pretty
quid.
good. That's pretty good. Right, my second
only
one.
round the corner as well.
It is.
Second one.
My second one, I've renewed my Everton season ticket, and I've upgraded a bit this year.
Have you?
So I'm really looking forward to.
I didn't think you could upgrade. I thought you had the best one already.
Well, I have now, and so I'm really looking forward.
You need a lot more than 99 quid.
No, hang on, to my new seat.
Right.
Now, if I go up on a day basis, it's the 3 o'clock kickoff. I get an early booking. You know what's it called? Advanced booking.
Advanced booking on the train.
And a young lady here does it for me brilliantly well, and it costs usually £99.
Oh, okay.
The return airfare, the return train fare, there and back, because it's weekends, it's Saturday, of course. Yeah. There's two ways of doing it, you see. You can either pay for the standard travel and then upgrade.
You have to talk me through the booking process.
Or you can get an advance first class, and the last one cost me £99.
Right.
So that'll be Goodison and back in a day, first class, £99. I think that's a bargain.
Okay. The second thing I would do with my £99 is I could buy 2 copies of a game called Plants vs. Zombies. Because unbeknownst to me, one of my children ordered this game.
Oh, yes.
And without
Plants versus Zombies.
Plants versus Zombies.
Is that like the Day of the Triffids meets
It's a bit
the
like
zombies?
that. Yeah, well, you can be a plant or you can be a zombie. And if you're a
I
plant, you have to kill the zombies. And if you're a zombie, you have to kill the plants, right?
That sound good.
And they love it. But what they didn't tell me, because I've sort of rather foolishly somehow given them access to my iTunes account.
Yes.
And I found this I got an email from the bill, 45 quid.
45 quid.
For the game, which they didn't ask for. So I've told them they already owe me that money. So but I could get them 2 games. I could get them 2 copies of it for 99 quid.
Okay, that's roughly. Very good. That's very good.
And that would be doing something for the children, which would be nice.
Okay, fine.
Go on, let's have another one of yours then.
Right,
your
final
third one?
Yeah. Final one?
Yeah.
Well, as I'm going to a family occasion this afternoon, it's a landmark birthday for my my
You don't have
sister.
to give away the age.
Don't want to give away the age, no of course not.
Is she older than you or younger than you?
She's younger. She's my younger sister.
All right.
And I will be buying her an extremely good bottle of champagne to celebrate this momentous event.
Well, you're going to use the 99 quid for that?
I'm going to use the £99. And
what bottle are you going to go for?
Well, I thought that a decent bottle will probably cost about £45, £46, £47.
Okay.
So I thought I'd get 2 of those.
Okay.
Moet et Chandon.
Okay. I did well when I went over to America. I was in the duty free, and I got a couple of. I always get mum's champagne for my mother for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And they had 2 bottles of that for 45 in the duty free.
What? 45 each?
No, 2 for 45.
2 for 45.
Yeah.
In that case, if I had that deal, I'd get 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll get probably 2.
Why don't you go all out and instead of just buying 2, get one really, really expensive one?
Well,
like
because
Dom Perignon or something.
Well, because I think that's wasted.
It's so much nicer.
No, I think it's wasted because I say that most people who claim to be wine connoisseurs, if I gave them 2 blind glasses of red, and one was from a bottle which should cost £125, and the other was from a bottle that cost £15, most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Well,
most people would not be able to tell the difference.
But anyway, my third thing that I would do with 99 quid is, over by Waterloo Station, they've got quite a few...
Waterloo Sunset.
Don't sing. They don't sing.
Yeah, go on.
Over by Waterloo Station, quite a few shops now. You know, they've revamped it. They've got the upstairs, the downstairs, and all of that.
Oh, yes.
There's a very nice shirt shop there. I don't want to give the name away, obviously, because I don't want to give them any free publicity.
Yes.
But you can get a couple of shirts for 99 quid.
2?
And I would take you there and buy you a couple of decent shirts.
2
because
shirts
the shirts that you wear in
this
this office are quite honestly an abomination to fashion.
Well, and yours are Savile Row, are they?
Well, I just wear nice shirts. I mean, look at the shirt you're wearing today. You look like you've come in, from a painting job.
But unbelievable. But you hardly ever iron yours. Is that some new fashion?
I get my shirts pressed.
No, sometimes you've run out of shirts and you come in here with an unironed shirt.
Well, if I come in at night sometimes, but
exactly.
not if I'm in during the day.
Well,
But you need to get some decent shirts.
No, I've got very decent
size
shirts.
X. What size is your shirt? What size?
X.
X.
Keep telling you. Yeah.
Okay. That was, of course, Listography. Now, coming up, we've got lots more to do. We're going to find out what's going on down at Monaco. It's very, very wet down there. Graham Courtney's going to keep us updated. And, of course, we're going to be talking to Jeff Peters for a look ahead to the League One playoff final today at Wembley between Millwall and Barnsley. This is TalkSport. This is TalkSport. We are the 2 mics, and we'll be back, of course, on Monday night, as per usual. And we'll be back in this seat at 11 o'clock next Sunday morning as well.
Yep.
On the subject of our Listography, what can you get for 99 quid?
Yes.
Somebody's rather cleverly, Jason his name is, tweeted in to say you can buy almost 1,000 copies of Rooney tunes.
Oh, really?
On Amazon.
Yeah. Why do you find that so amusing?
Because well, you could get you could buy the whole lot, the whole back issue, 1,000 copies of your terrible book about Wayne Rooney.
How do you know it's terrible?
Because I've read it.
No, you haven't.
I've read bits of it.
Oh, I don't think
It's rubbish. The whole first chapter it doesn't even mention Wayne Rooney. It's just all about you.
Well, no,
how Wayne Rooney saved your life.
It's setting the scene.
It's got nothing to do with Wayne Rooney's life. It's all about you.
Setting the scene.
Anyway, listen now. Earlier on,
yes.
I've just been reminded because I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
You said you were going to tell me a sort of invigorating and
it's quite
revealing tale about somebody that I knew.
Well,
whose initials were what? PM, did you say? I haven't worked out who it is.
Well, who do you think that is? PM. Piers Morgan.
Oh, okay.
Right, thank you.
So you're going to tell stories about Piers Morgan?
Well, I'm only going to tell stories from
his... trying to get disinvited to any of his future parties as well as all the other ones?
No, from his diary today in the on Sunday. I mean, we all know Trump Tower in Manhattan, right? We've all been there. And
on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, exactly, and that kind of stuff.
Next to Tiffany's.
So yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
I think Piers is sort of being very clever about the way that he's positioning himself with Trump.
Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
So Piers goes over there to interview Donald Trump because, of course, he's now a major contender for the White House. Now, as Piers points out, he's known him quite a long time. They did The Apprentice together, didn't they, in America?
Well, he won it.
Yeah, he won it, that's right.
Piers won it.
Celebrity Apprentice, that's right, yeah. And so they've known each other since then. Now, in those days, he was able to walk into Trump Tower, just go up to reception, say, hello, I'm personal guest of Mr. Trump.
There's been a wicket in a cricket. I've got to just interrupt you for a second. Let's go back to...
So anyway, he goes and normally goes to see him and just goes to reception. Hello, I'm personal guest of Mr. Trump. Oh, yes, there's his private lift. Just go up in that. Now he goes over to interview him for his show.
Right.
You know,
for the Good Morning Britain.
Good Morning Britain. That's right. And he has to go through. They've actually built a security office around the entrance to Trump Tower.
Well, presumably that will be the Secret Service.
Well, of course it is, yeah, because he's now...
He's now the nominee, effectively.
He's US President designate, isn't he? Or elect.
Well, I don't know, that may be going a bit far, but he's certainly the front runner.
Look, when you get to that stage, you have the... Do you remember when Mrs. Ferraro was made the running mate, Geraldine Ferraro?
She was Mondale's, wasn't she?
Walter Mondale's running mate, first ever woman...
What a terrible ticket that was.
Oh, shocking that was. But I mean, the minute...
World's worst pairing.
The minute she was nominated...
Mr. Useless.
Absolutely.
With the woman who kept being linked with the mafia.
Her husband was linked with the mafia. And the minute she was appointed, I mean, she wasn't vice president, she was the nominee for vice president. Yeah. They swooped on a house and built walls around it and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And she did live in Queens.
Yeah, that's right. And she couldn't go out in a car without 16 cars following her and all that kind of stuff.
But you know what's funny about that? Because you've probably done this as well. But I interviewed, I think it was McGovern, who lost to Nixon in the Watergate affair.
That's right.
And he never got over it, you know. But he said the worst thing about losing in the election is that literally the moment that you lose, they're all gone.
They've all gone.
You walk out
you stand in the street.
And you stand and you go, where's the limo? Where's the guy with the gun?
Where's my driver?
They've all gone.
That's right, yeah.
Literally, you just walked off.
Where's my appointed people? They've just gone, absolutely right. But anyway, so Piers is making the point. It's changed differently. Anyway, eventually, after searches and all this, he gets to see him, and he's now talking to a man who could be the next president of the United States of America, right? And you know, I mean, can you imagine the man in the street saying, oh, I have instant access to the president of the United States of America? Anyway, after the show goes out, a handwritten note arrives from Donald Trump. Piers, you are a true winner and my friend. Best Donald. P.S. Everybody is talking about our interview. So Donald Trump clearly liked it.
Yeah.
That means that Piers is now in pole position to be a very close friend.
Well, exactly. This is what... And on Twitter, he's constantly being asked...
Exactly.
Why do you keep supporting Trump?
Exactly,
why do you keep putting out all these kind of, positive tweets about him? And he keeps saying, in order to kind of stay central, that, no, I don't support Trump. I disagree with lots of the things that he says.
That's right.
But I know him to be a great guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So, what odds would you have on Piers Morgan being the first head of communications in the Trump presidency?
I don't know.
That'd be great.
Well, would he take it? I don't know. They'd have to pay him an awful lot of money. But
no, it'd be ridiculous.
Come on.
Piers would be well up for that.
Oh, Piers has got great earning power.
He wants the profile. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
He wants the profile.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be too show business because of Piers' background? Piers is show business.
No, but I mean, hang on. You're talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I agree.
Who runs a reality TV show.
Well,
he used to sell steak on television,
right? I agree.
Who's a kind of slum landlord after your own heart.
I agree.
I mean, if he's in the White House, surely you could have Piers as his spokesman.
It's amazing. But anyway, I was only going to compare it, of course, to my situation with Billy Clinton. Because, of course...
Your situation?
Yeah.
Where's the picture, by the way, of you and Bill?
Don't worry about that.
We haven't seen that.
Up to 3 days before the presidential election, I could ring Bill Clinton on his, what they call cell phones in America. Really? No problem at all.
Really? Except he wouldn't answer it?
No, it was always answered by some sort of an age. You know,
sure it was his number?
Of course it was his number. It was answered by George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah, he's the guy who wouldn't acknowledge you on Twitter, wasn't it? When you sent out those, "Hi, George, do you remember me?
No.
We used to have a beer in Little Rock," and he didn't answer you.
Don't be ridiculous.
He did not answer you.
I didn't send it to him.
Yes, you did.
I sent out a note, and I remember the days when I used to have a beer with George Stephanopoulos. I wasn't going to bother him personally.
No, you said, "How are you?"
No,
and he didn't respond.
No, I didn't know. But anyway, the point is, and then 3 days before the election, suddenly the phone went dead.
Yeah.
And it was all off, you know. And Mr. Clinton's never spoken to me since.
Well, a lot of people have cut you off from their personal phones, haven't they?
Well, that's a bit hard.
You know, they just block you now.
But what I'm saying is, you know, to be that close to the throne, that close to power, it's very invigorating.
Is it?
You're always worried about the time.
There's not much excitement in
your
life,
why?
is there?
You never got much to say, have you?
Well, I've got hardly any time to say it in.
Yeah.
Right, Porky, so that was the warm-up. We're going to do it for the next 4 weeks.
Yes.
We've already done one, so technically for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, the mid-afternoon show, was it?
No, it's the warm-up.
Oh, the warm-up, yeah. So it starts in the morning, finishes in the afternoon, early afternoon. But that was the warm-up.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there's another 3 to come yet, aren't there?
I just said that.
Oh, did you? Right, okay, I wasn't listening. Sorry, I don't listen to much what you say.
No, I
know.
But
anyway, I thought it was great. You did okay.
Thank you.
Looking forward to next week.
See you later.